And people can say what they want, but I have never had a cheap poly tarp fail on me out in the woods. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. And tonight, thankfully, we're supposed to have a good rain event. I don't know how bad the winds are gonna get, hopefully not too bad, but we got a lot of rain coming in tonight. Great weather to hammock camp in. Now to go find a spot to set up the hammock. Not sure why I'm getting that sag. If it rains like that all night, I'm gonna sleep real good. It still has the bug net attached. I don't really need it tonight. I think I'll just leave it on though. Just using this tonight, guys. Put this under me. I want to have a really good sleep in this rain, and this is just an added firmness for my back. That's all. Also brought my pillow. I actually made this pillow. I used some old material and filled it full of stuffing, which would be good for my head. So I'm busting it out tonight. Just gonna use my sleeping bag like a quilt tonight, or a comforter. Just pull it over top me. I'm not gonna get in it. I should be nice and snuggled in here. And my pillow. Right. Tonight I thought I'd bust out that one Tigress under quilt. Haven't used it maybe 3 times, but I wanted to bust it out tonight just because it's not really cold, but it is damp and wet from all the rain. And you know, around that 40 and 50 degree range, guys, can be a little, you know, that's your worst hypothermic area. So, and I'm already sweating. I flipped the bug net over. I'm not going to use it just because it's already attached, and I don't want to have to reattach that again next time I use it, because I plan on busting this hammock out a lot this summer. I didn't bring something I should have to cover up the fire pit with, so I'm trying to just trying to rig something. I'll have a fire going. I'm not worried about that. I just don't want a lot of smoke if I can help it. but I'm staying nice and dry under here, which is good. I had to put my extra blue tarp over top my Eastern Outdoors tarp that goes over my hammock. I just found a leak in the seam. I will be doing an update on this because I've only used it about 6 times and 3 times in the rain, and now it's failing. Let me show you what's happening. The tape is coming undone, which is causing a leakage up here. I have moisture, so what I did was I threw that big extra tarp I have on it. See? And since I'm out in the field, I can't do too much about it, just protect myself for the night. So guys, I'm not even sure where I left off because you probably saw me turn back and then it ended, but the seam on this tarp failed in about 4-foot area. It's a shame. I do like the tarp system. I love the hammock, but the tarp, tell you what, it wouldn't be camping if something fun didn't happen. Nothing ever goes the way you plan it. So like I was saying, I'm trying to keep the fire pit dry. I'm gonna rig something up in a minute, but I had to have a drink. Cheers, guys. My pants are a little wet. I got plenty of under gear on. I forgot to bring my rain pants, was one thing. But if I get that fire going, I'll be standing around it till my pants dry. I'm not sweating, just my jacket's wet. And worst case scenario, if something happens in the middle of the night and the tarp fails, worse, I'll just hop out, get in the truck, take my quilt with me, and clean up the mess in the morning. I hope it doesn't happen. Man, that would be messy. If I was out someplace backpacking and this happened, I'd be hot. But I'd figure something out. And I just had to spread my poly tarp out because it's leaking here along this seam. As you can see on the other side, I didn't think it was. Look at the moisture coming through. I will reseal this and keep this tarp. When I get done with it, it'll never leak again. But here was some of the water that's still dripping through. I'll wipe that down before I go to bed tonight because that's what's under the poly tarp that I've just put on the outside. Okay, I found 2 sticks out in the woods. Got my tarp up high. Got a dry area now. Plenty of place to go for the smoke when it comes up. I'm not gonna have a big fire tonight, just enough to dry off my clothes, and I'll tell you why. And I got a good area here, this area right here, that I can split some of that dry wood up that's over there and get the fire ready. Because right now, it ain't ready. I'm in the back looking for some more wood, guys, and I came upon that tree that came down like 2 years ago when I was back here, but I couldn't get to it because the foliage was so bad. Look at that. But check out the base of it. That is 15 feet tall, at least. Wow. That's crazy. That is a huge tree. Look at the damage it did when it fell. But I am going to get some tinder off that. Get all this wet bark off, all of it. Sometimes if I dry it out good enough, I save it for practice tinder. Keep stripping down my big stuff. Just strip it down, get that wet bark off. You'd be surprised sometimes how dry the wood is under that bark. The bark does protect the tree, And it holds that moisture at bay. Not all times, but I think I'm gonna get lucky tonight. The wood they left me over there, it's not seasoned yet. I've got the best pieces I got out of it over here to see if I could get some of it to start on, if I get this pit hot enough. If I don't, I do have a log in my truck. I keep that for when me and the missus go out. And I want to have a fire someplace, I don't have to gather wood. Look at that, wet, wet, wet. As you guys can see, I got as much of it down to wood. I got the bark off. And I'm trying a new fire starter out tonight. Tonight's the first test, and I can say right now I'm impressed. I'll do some more testing on it, and I'll put it up. It's very inexpensive, and it's supposed to give a 5-minute burn time. That's the secret. That's the secret. You can have a fire out in the rain, and you can, if you gotta have dry tinder, and you've got to use small sticks. I've always started my fires with small sticks, and get that bark off. Get it started like that. That'll burn down. Hopefully that wood I have underneath of it is seasoned enough, which they had left behind. And I was lucky. You guys saw the clip earlier, but there was a broken tree where a tree had fell on it years ago, and it was sticking up. Check this out. I just grabbed handfuls of it off. Handfuls! So I got enough to keep that going and throw some more wood on there. But it's almost time for me to eat. I can't wait to talk to you guys a little bit later. But wow, and this has been an eventful camp. I wanted to do a quick, good hammock camp in a nice rainstorm. The storm has been on and off. It hasn't stayed steady. Get this fire roaring. Look at that. Half a sub left over my wife and I had last night, if I remember correctly. It's turkey, lettuce, tomato, mayo, bacon, Swiss. Delicious. And some kettle corn barbecue chips. It's great in this kind of weather. Fire's doing good now. I don't know about those. I don't know about those pieces of wood at the bottom. Like I said, if it doesn't catch on, I'll just get my piece of wood out from the truck. This is not even warm. I'm keeping it that low, so we're good to go. Oh man, I've been busy. Oh, dropped a piece of bacon. Scheduling couldn't get me out in bad weather. I love coming out in bad weather. Doesn't that look good? This bite's for you. That's so good. All my fellow hammock campers out there, why was my tarp drooping like that? You know, I could make poly tarps so tight you could bounce a quarter off of them. You think it was probably something wrong with the tarp? I did everything I usually do, I just couldn't get it as tight as I could. It was just kept drooping. Of course, there's no ridge line. Maybe I should just ran a ridge line. Yeah, maybe I should have just did that. But I had it tight enough, it shouldn't droop. Well, next time I'm gonna run a ridge line and see how that goes. But if I didn't run a ridge line, give me some tips down there, guys. We got a fire now. The pieces I have standing up here have dried out, so I may have to go get a stick and jack this up some more. I didn't think they were going to take off like that. But I'd rather have to go out and get a stick now and prop it up than not having a fire. I've usually kept my fires, like if I keep them like 4 feet away from my tarp, they're good. And that's just not even warm, barely warm. And it's got the cold rain hitting on the other side, so that helps. But I've got to dry out my shirts. I'll talk to you guys about that in a little bit. I wasn't happy, but I am drying out. My pants are nice and dry. As soon as that little stuff burns off, this will stop. I am under the tarp setup I have for the hammock. If I had one more thing go wrong, I'd wrap it up. Because I believe in that 3 lemon law. You get 3 lemons on a trip, hiking, camping, or backpacking, you turn it in. That's, for me, that's the signs that something's going to happen. Okay. First lemon. The tarp, the Jungle Explorer tarp for the hammock, leaked. Luckily I had extra tarps because it's wet as crap out here, and I knew I'd need it. 2, now if you notice, I'm wearing my black jacket. I'm not wearing the blue one. Now I've had that blue Columbia jacket for a while. I thought it was waterproof. It's not. So I got wet. I am kind of wet, a little wet on my shoulder still. That's my second lemon, once I found that was leaking. So I had to come over here because if I had my raincoat, I have 3 other raincoats. If I had one of those, I would be able to stand out under the tarp where the fire is when the smoke got bad, and it wouldn't bother me, and if rain hits me, then I could get back under there and enjoy the fire. But because it's smoking and I don't have a rain jacket, I had to come over here. So I'm like 20, 30 feet away enjoying the fire. But yeah, I'm rolling with it. It's really sad to see this tarp fail, but it only failed at its seam. It's weird. I heavily tested it before in a rain event way worse than this, and just the fact it's been put away and used several times, not a numerous amount of times, just several times, I'm shocked that it messed up. I really am. I'll do an update on it because it shouldn't be failing that quick. The seam separated from the material, the bonding agent, whatever they use. I'm going to use something and fix it because, you guys know that spray I use, it works really good. I love it. I use it on a lot of tents. Even after I tested the tents, I use it on stuff because I don't want anything in the future, especially a tent I love. Like the Coleman tent failed and I loved it, so I fixed it. But I'm going to fix this tarp. If you guys have any good tarps out there you could recommend or would be great for hammock camping, please put it in the comments below. Put your favorite tarp up or hammock setup. I know some tarps come with the hammocks. I might have to buy the whole setup. But if you guys got a tarp that you really love that you would like to recommend, please put it up. I'd like to use it and put it on the channel and share it with everybody. You know, we all don't know all the information, but we can share it among everyone in the community. Like I said, if I have any type of failure tonight, like with this tarp or the tarp I have over top of it, I'll just get in the truck. Always have a backup plan too in case an emergency happens. I always have a backup plan. If I was hiking, if I was up someplace hiking tonight and this all happened, I'd probably turned around. No raincoat is that gets things deadly. The camping, I can make it work. One thing I recommend anybody out there, anybody who's younger or newer or getting into it, learn yourself about 4 or 5 knots, guys. Just pick your favorites. I've adapted a couple knots just because they work for me. You know how to put pieces of string together or cordage. I do my little trick where it's actually a knot, but I've been doing it forever. I do that. I always put loops on the end of things. When I do my trucker's hitch, there's a way you turn the rope, but I don't do that because it tends to close up on the string. What I do is I mark where I want that loop to be, take it around, tie a loop in it, and then I come back around the tree and pull it that way because the loop stays one size and it's easier. I do a clove hitch all the time. You see me doing them with tarps, that's what I do. A double clove, so learn 4 or 5 good knots, guys. You'll find the ones you love, your favorites, and they'll stick with you. I've got mine. Right now I'm just chilling, relaxing, enjoying the night. I'm eyeballing the fire right where I'm at. I can see it. Wind is gusting. I might just tip everything in, let it burn off. So I'm going to stoke this real good. It should last through the rain. I've kept fires going through the rain before like this. Once you get that base going, you should be good. And I don't have to worry about any of the embers because everything is soaking wet. So I'll keep an eye on it from a distance because I'm right over there. I actually had to go guy line off the tarp I have covering the tarp because it blew over. I can't be sleeping and that thing blow over, and then I start getting wet and jumping out the hammock in the middle of the night soaking wet and getting in the truck. God, if that ever happened, I would throw everything in the back seat and just drive home. Oh, let me show this to you guys real quick. I use the that little table from Temu. I just have it on top of my Grand Trunk. I think it's Grand Trunk. I think it's a Grand Trunk stool. I've had it for about 15 years. I love that thing. Wow, finally, stopped raining. I was able to keep that fire rolling 3 hours under the rain. We had some downpours, guys, some downpours. Whew. Man, that's kicking off some heat. That is nice to enjoy. Wow. Nights like this. Well, guys, it's raining still a little bit, but that fire is just too nice. I'm going to sit by it for 5 more minutes. Sit by it, enjoy it. I'll bring you back when I turn in. Okay guys, I just turned in. I got inside the hammock. Little did I know that a little bit of moisture got in here before I put the other tarp up over this tarp. There's that little bit of moisture that got through because it dripped through that seam before I was able to put the other tarp on. A little bit right here, but it's not really wet. I mean, just discoloration. So frustrating. But no new moisture, that's for sure. Sleeping bag's not wet. It was just a little bit of moisture on my pad. But I'm comfortable. I'm turning in. I'll see you guys in the morning. What a night. Good morning, guys. Oh man, I slept so good. It rained a little bit more last night after I got in here, and that just made it that much better to sleep. And it was quiet, breezy night, chilly, but comfortable. Still a little windy, but it's nice. But I had over the fire. I just left it. I'm gonna get up, make some coffee, check out the day. Oh, that's good. Wow. What a camp last night. Could I have a camp with more things that go wrong? I hope I don't have any more of those in the future, but I took care of her. First, that stupid coat of mine was not a raincoat. I will be getting rid of that thing. I don't need an extra jacket. I've got tons of coats. So that thing is going to Goodwill. I don't need it. If it doesn't block the rain, I don't want a coat like that. So that thing's going to Goodwill tomorrow, after I dry it off, of course. What else? All right, then the tarp. I cannot believe that tarp failed. I'm sitting here looking at it now, frustrated. Man, that's frustrating. And what saved the day? A cheap poly tarp I paid probably $3.98 for 5 years ago. Anyway, I'll be putting an update on that very soon, probably within this week or next week. It's just stupid that thing failed so early. It just doesn't have that much age on it. I'll seal it, keep it, but yeah, I will be putting that up and letting people know, and I'm also going to contact the company and let them know. You know, it helps to let them know. It could be the manufacturing process. They could have stopped that after I bought that tarp. I don't know, but I will be contacting them. Of course, I'll let you guys know everything they say on that one. That was frustrating. Because when it did that, it kept me from standing out near the fire. Even if it was raining, pouring rain, and I had one of my other good raincoats on, I would have stood around the fire in the pouring rain. I wouldn't have minded. I would have sat down on my chair in the rain. It wouldn't bother me. But with no protection, staying dry was number one. So I had to stay on the tarp, under the tarp by the hammock with my chair and look at the fire from a distance. It was okay. The embers were, you know, roaring by that time, and I just kept putting big piece on big piece, and then I did come out and stand around the fire before I went to bed. So it was, I won, so I don't consider that 11. But all in all, it was a great night, great camp. It did rain a little bit more during the night while I was sleeping because I slept so good. I slept sound. It's like 8 o'clock, guys. I usually get up around 6:37 because I know I'm out in the woods. I just want to get up and start, you know, adventuring again. But when I sleep later, when I'm out, I slept good. I slept real good. I probably got big ass bags under my eyes. Probably. So, thanks for coming along and watching with me, guys. Sharing that eventful night. If I have enough video, I'll make an ASMR video of this too, without my mouth running. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how much I was able to capture with this failing and that failing and the rain, and it was fun though. I had a lot of fun. And plus, it's always good to put the skills you have to the test, because sometime, somewhere in the future, I could have been out on the trail or out deep someplace I could be camping far from my truck just to camp, like river camping or lake camping. I got a couple of those I want to do, but I could have been far from my truck, and you got to have the skills. You got to know what the priority was, and one was being dry. I had to get under that darn tarp. Well, my friends, thanks for watching. Thanks for laughing. As I always say, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please please keep flooding those comments. I love chatting with everybody and talking and sharing ideas. It's an amazing community we have, just amazing community. Bye for now.